carries. We're now in executive session. We will return to public session at 8 p.m. Thank you. Okay. I'll wait for Mr. Parker. Oh, we're ready? Okay, great. Good evening. It's now 8:18. We are back from the executive session, and first item on our agenda is student voice, hearing from the students for our public comments. And from Richard J. Bailey, we have Mr. Dylan McLaughlin. Are you here? Oh, good. Come up, Dylan, please. Can we get something up here so we can see the student? Oh, there you go. Okay. I didn't even see them. Okay, Dylan, is the mic on for her? Yeah?
Hello.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Hello, my name is Dylan McLaughlin. I am a 5th grader at Richard J. Bailey Elementary School. Thank you for inviting me to share my school experiences here tonight. What I love most about RJB is that students are allowed to socialize and have fun while learning. It's super helpful to communicate with other kids, especially while doing work. I am able to learn what I am doing right, wrong, or different from other students, so we can help each other be successful on projects and assignments. Throughout the week, we have 4 subject classes and a variety of specials. My favorite class is English Language Arts because we get to express ourselves through reading and writing. Every day, Ms. Osmani has us write a story or give our opinion on a book we've recently read. She allows us to talk with one another about what we wrote. I get to learn about interesting facts, stories, and different topics while reading and speaking in group discussions. I also love my math classes with Miss Rogers. She makes math and learning more fun and exciting. We play games like Jeopardy and math trivia. On Fridays, we play a math game called Around the World, where 2 students face off to answer multiplication facts. It's a race to be the student who answers each question correctly at every face-off. It's nerve-wracking, fun, and exhilarating. Ms. Rogers really brings joy to math and to the school. Another interesting class is science because of all the fun projects. We had one assignment named How We Express Ourselves Through Technology. We designed an invention based on our wants and needs. We learned about others' interests and why it was important to them. My invention was an airship, which is an airplane mixed with a cruise ship because I love airplanes and vacationing. We even presented our projects in front of our classes in different formats like PowerPoints, posters, poster boards, or models. One of my favorite specials is art. In art class, we can relax, release stress, and express ourselves in different ways. We can do this with colors, textures, and even shapes. Miss Dove teaches us a bunch of different styles, and she lets us choose the one that is best for us, which gives us the freedom to learn and grow as an artist. The after-school clubs at RJB are super fun too. I participated in the Bailey Broadcasting Club and the Engineering Club in the 4th grade, and the Newspaper Club and Drama Club in the 5th grade. RJB has a variety of other clubs and programs to choose from. I love the Drama Club the most because I enjoy working with others on a stage and having fun singing, dancing, and acting with my friends. As you can see, I love RJB very much because of all the ways we can express ourselves, learn, and socialize while having a blast. Though RJB is amazing, I do have one improvement that could be made. The water fountains. They don't have enough water coming out of it, so when someone uses it, they touch the spot with their mouths. And when more people do this, it spreads germs that can make others sick. I also think that there should be a few cups on the side of the water fountain for kids that don't have water bottles or might have forgotten them. Overall, I am proud to be a student at RJB. I am learning, growing, and enjoying my friends, teachers, and the school.
Thank you so much, Dylan. And you did very well. We loved hearing all of that. When did you start coming to Greenberg schools? Did you go to Highview?
Yes.
You did? Did you go to Lee F. Jackson?
Yeah.
You did? Did you go to ECP?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I'm so happy to hear that. And then hopefully we'll see you up here at Woodlands as well. Very strong scholar. Any questions from, yes, Ms. Sampalayo has a question for you. Gotta press the.
Thank you. Dylan, you kind of make me want to go to R.J. Bailey. I'm wondering, which of all those books that you've read in ELA would you recommend?
I really like the book about Malala and how she made a big impact on very many girls all around the world.
Thank you, and thank you for advocating for all the students about the water fountains.
Wonderful. And who did you bring with you here with you today?
My mom.
Okay, wonderful. Hi, Mom. Thank you for trusting our schools with your daughter's education. We're doing a good job. Wonderful. Thank you, Dylan. Next, we have Miss Mia Isabella Alvarado. Are you here? This is a 7th grade student at Woodlands Middle High School. Thank you, Mia.
Good evening, Superintendent Chisholm and Board of Education. My name is Mia Alvarado, and I'm in the 7th grade at Woodlands. My favorite part about Woodlands are the variety of extracurricular activities to choose from, some of them being drama club, volleyball, or track. I would like to express my happiness that you offered integrated classes with the 7th and 8th grade, as it gives me an opportunity to see my friends that are in the 8th grade. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. Now I'm going to ask you, when did you come to Greenberg Schools? Did you go to Bailey?
Yes.
Did you? Okay, I'm going to ask you about that transition as well in a minute. Did you go to Highview?
No.
Okay, so you started with us at Bailey. Wonderful. And how was the transition from Bailey to Woodlands? Is the food better? I always
Yes.
hear that.
Yes.
Anything else you want to share?
At first, it was difficult because you would have some classes on the top floor and some on the bottom floor, so it would be hard to get around. But that's really all. It was mostly similar to RJ Bailey.
Good. Do you think you've gotten used to it?
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful. Do you partake in sports? You mentioned volleyball and track. Wonderful. Good. And drama club, right?
No, not this year.
Maybe next year. We have some drama kids here tonight if you want to stay and hear them talk. Does anyone else on the board have any questions for Miss Mia? No? Who did you bring with you?
My father.
Hi, Father. Thank you so much. So we hope to see you again soon, and thank you for coming out.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. So next we have on our agenda the Mandarin Club. And I think some of you guys there's 2 students here from the Mandarin Club. Some of you come up. I want you guys to come up on stage and shake our hand, because I feel like I can't even see you down there. So go find the steps. And you guys were featured as well. Was it the Journal News?
It was LoHUD, I believe.
News 12. Okay, come up. You can bring the mic with you. Bring the mic with you. So come up and please just tell us really quickly. I know the board always looks at me, but I'd spend all night hearing from the kids. Tell us very quickly about the Mandarin Club, what your experience is. You got to look at the camera too. Look at us and the camera, like keep turning. Yes, and let us know anything you'd like about the Mandarin Club, please. What is the Mandarin Club? What do you do?
Of course. So my name is Jake Morton, and I've had the pleasure of being the president of Mandarin Club at Woodlands High School for the past 4 years. And the Mandarin Club puts on the Lunar New Year celebration here at Woodlands. And that's quickly risen to become one of the largest and most exclusive performing arts events in the district. This year, we performed twice right here in this auditorium under our brand new lights. And we were also able to perform 3 times at the elementary schools, which provided education not only to grades 7 through 12, but also to younger kids as well. This show takes a village to put together. We order a majority of our costumes from Taiwan, and they're brought over by Dr. Yang herself. And every year we do a substantial amount of fundraisers so that we're able to purchase these new costumes. For months, students of all grades from 7 to 12 gathered during lunch periods and after school to practice their dances. And the beauty of Mandarin Club here is that every student, regardless of their race or gender, is welcome to join and participate in the show, so long as they're committed. One of the things I love about the program is that it keeps growing. And while I most unfortunately won't be there next year, I can't wait to see what the club has to offer in the future. I hope overall this reminds everyone how much the arts matter when it comes to the education of our students. The Mandarin Club continues to be one of the most unique programs that Woodlands has to offer, and I can't wait to see what it gets up to in the future.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you. And did you want to share anything about Mandarin Club right now? No? No pressure. No pressure.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
Sorry.
great. What do you
Hi.
wanna share? Hi.
My name is Katerina Gonzalez, and I'd like to start off by saying how proud I am to be a part of such an amazing Mandarin Club and Lunar New Year Assembly each year so far. The amazing assembly that we put on year by year with performances like the dragon, lion, embroidery, lantern and fan, and long sleeve dances are a direct result of all of the hours that we put in to make the assembly as culturally immersive and honestly as fun as possible. The training process that we have to go through to be able to perform in this assembly lasts from October to March, and we spend most lunch periods during that time after eating and after school in Dr. Yang, the Mandarin teacher's classroom, or in the auditorium practicing. From this, not only are we able to learn about the Mandarin culture through hearing the beautiful music and learning the different dance styles, but we also learn the importance of responsibility, dedication, discipline, and teamwork. As for the responsibility piece, a show of this skill that is continuing to grow takes a lot of fundraising to buy the costumes and props, most of which, as Jake said, are from Taiwan. We do get funds from the school, which are so crucial to this, but we also have to fundraise ourselves during school, like selling chocolate, chips, and other things like that. And it is so worth it to be able to reach the final product, which is this gorgeous cultural and entertaining assemblies that we are also so fortunately able to take on the road to the younger schools. 3 years ago, I was a 7th grader sitting in one of these auditorium chairs for the first time, and I was just so astounded at how beautiful everything was, and I just knew I had to be a part of something so incredible. So the next year in 8th grade, I joined the Mandarin Club to perform in the Lunar New Year assemblies, and at the time, I didn't know that we would be able to go on field trips with the club to different places that teach us about Asian culture, and little did I know just how big this could and would become. I mean, like, we had an article written about us in Low HUD News. That's crazy. Anyway, now here I am in 9th grade, continuing to perform in the Lunar New Year assemblies, and the assembly is one of the parts of the school year that I most look forward to. It's just so wonderful to see how this assembly is able to expand every year and become something so important in uniting us. Culture is a vital part of our lives. And the thing is, in this assembly, we're not just learning about Chinese culture. It's also the culture of Taiwan, Singapore, and other Mandarin-speaking regions. The assembly is so much more than an assembly. It is super powerful to anyone who watches it and participates in it. And we really only want to continue to grow from here and be able to show everyone the importance and different elements of Asian culture. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Trustee Alon.
I know there's a little bit of a difference between the club and the Mandarin language class, but is there a short phrase that you could teach the board in Mandarin?
Okay, so a short phrase. Well, since we're on the topic of Lunar New Year, there's a common phrase that we say on stage at the end of the show, and that, of course, literally means Happy New Year. And so it's 新年快乐, 恭喜发财, 万事如意. There you go. I expect to see you in class tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Oh, you have a question?
I have a question. Sorry, Katarina. Well, Katarina is a part of the Superintendent's Advisory Council, so I'll see you next year. But Jake, I have a question. You're a senior. What are your plans for next year?
I will be attending Northeastern University as a communications major.
All right.
And I'm happy to say that I don't know if I would have been there without the Mandarin Club and all the skills that I learned over the course of many years. And of course, the help of the district. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Next we have, and I guess you don't move, Jake, the cast of The Lightning Thief. There was a lot of, right? Okay, a lot of students here, but we have 3 here tonight. Oh, Katarina too? Oh, I don't have you on here. Okay, I'm sorry. I have McKenna, Jake Morton, and Caroline Davis. Okay, so we have 4. Good. Wonderful. So I don't know if you guys have prepared anything for this part, but I have a couple of questions. You have? Okay, go ahead.
Of course. So I will definitely let my castmates talk about a bunch of stuff. But once again, I also wanted to reiterate how thankful we are for the board and the administration's support for the Drama Club as well. This year, our production was the largest it's ever been, with over 90 kids involved. And for those who don't know, that is literally 10% of our entire school, which for any drama production is absolutely insane. Just like the Mandarin Club, the Drama Club it's huge. Our directors, Mr. Kennedy, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Cronin, and Ms. Weir work with us from November to March, and so it's quite the operation. I just wanted, again, to say I'm so thankful for all of the improvements that are being made to our performing arts spaces in the district, whether that's at RJ Bailey with the renovated auditorium, or again here with the brand new lights, and hopefully next year or in the future, a new sound system. But again, speaking from the Drama Club Council, we greatly appreciate the board and administration's support in these productions.
Thank you so much. So please introduce yourself. Tell us what year you're in as well.
Hi, I'm McKenna Ritchie. I'm a junior. So the superintendent knows my brother, Lucan. I'm sorry about him, first of all. The Drama Club is amazing. I've been in it since 7th grade. I've got to meet and connect with so many amazing people, like my fellow castmates here. It's given me chances to be closer to my teachers. It's given me a chance to do things I love, like singing, acting, and I've even helped out backstage when we did Fame. I was the student director, which was a really interesting and unique experience. So it really just helps students become versatile in so many things in theater and just stage production. And it's a good way for everyone to connect and share something that they are truly passionate about with this community. And yeah, I'm very thankful for the opportunity that it has been provided for us. And I'm very thankful for the new lighting system. They were amazing this year. I was blown away.
Thank you. Okay, Katarina, name, wait, we know your name, what's your grade?
I'm in 9th grade. I joined the drama club in 7th grade after doing drama club all the years in RJ Bailey, even online. And this club is just so important to me. And especially as a middle schooler, it was so crucial to be able to develop connections with the upperclassmen and everyone standing here right now. It's just been so nice to grow with the club and see everyone transform into actors, singers, and yeah, really just make relationships and connections with each other.
Okay, great. Eli?
Can you repeat the question?
Name, grade, and anything you want to say about the Drama Club.
My name is Eli Cinco. I'm the vice president of Drama Club. And the reason why I enjoy Drama Club as a whole is because it gives you many experiences, not only just as a club, because it's named Drama Club, as a club, regular club, but I see it as a community as whole, because you experience many exposures of musical, different musicians, different musical instruments. You get to also experience different techniques in how you act and how you perform. within your classmates, within the teachers. You also create a bond between one another, and also gives me a reason to push harder and harder, and to any extent. That's why I
Wonderful.
joined drama club.
Thank you. And you didn't say, I'm sorry, before you hand the mic over, you didn't say your year in school,
I'm in 12th grade.
12th grade, and have you decided yet what you're doing after graduation?
I'll be going to Penn State
Penn
for
State.
business
Very
with a minor in
good.
music.
For what? What's your major?
Business.
Business. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone.
Name, grade, anything you want to say about drama?
Hi, I'm Caroline Davis. I'm a senior. After graduation, I'm attending Howard University with a major in political science. So I started drama club last year as stage crew. This year I played Sally Jackson, who's Percy's mom. It was definitely a breakout role. It helped me come out of my comfort zone. I feel like that's the essence of drama club. I'm sure everyone up here can agree. I feel like the directors really push us to sing and to dance and to smile and to try our best. My favorite part about drama club is probably seeing the relationships that are fostered. We have, like Jake said, a bunch of students in drama club ranging from 7th to 12th grade. So because it's a wide age gap, you would expect there to be like cliques and a sort of separation. But I feel like it was easy to get along with everyone, and it was definitely a very positive environment. So yeah, that was my favorite part, being able to connect with everyone and underclassmen. And yeah, so thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Now I got to do my usual. We'll start with you, Caroline. When did you start GCSD, Greenberg Central School District? What grade?
ECP.
ECP,
Preschool.
pre-K.
Yes.
Wonderful. Jake, you're next.
Leaf Jackson.
Leaf Jackson, wonderful. McKenna?
I've been here since preschool.
ECP, pre-K, wonderful.
I started in Leaf Jackson.
Leaf Jackson and Eli.
I started in Leaf Jackson.
Wonderful.
well.
So we've got you guys for the long haul pretty much. Good, wonderful, so happy. Any questions from the board members? Any comments? I know we're going late. We're keeping you longer than we planned to, but you guys were awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Okay, we will move on to our next agenda item. Come sit, Eli. Eli is also our student board ex officio member. Thank you. And we have one public comment. Thank you. Miss Dora Ashley, thank you for being patient, Miss Ashley. Is she still here? Oh, yes, come up, please. The mic is over here. Thank you, Jake. Is it on already for her? Okay, thank you. And Dora's topic is the budget.
I just wanted to make a statement. I just wanted to make a statement that I am against the any increases in the budget. I can't hear you. Yeah, I would like to make a statement that I'm against any increases in the budget. I've been resident of Hartsdale for 19 years now. I have now 2 friends who have moved out because they cannot afford the taxes. My husband's in my retirement is nearing. I don't want to move. I want to stay. Are you aware that right now the town is auctioning over 30 properties? And I have here a number. The most recent audit, as of January 2026, cited 587 accounts with outstanding tax balances, right? This winter, right, when Con Ed increased the tax, the rates, somebody posted on Nextdoor in my community, do I eat or do I hate, right? This is not Scarsdale. You have to get realistic, right? There is a breaking point for every community. The town wants to increase the taxes. You want to increase taxes, right? So where does it end, right? Where's the formula? I don't want to move. I have on my wish list, I would like to do this and this and that, but I have to budget. I guess you all guys have to start budgeting as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ashley. There's no one else that one to, okay. All right. And the next item on the agenda is the presentation of the 26-27 budget. So we've heard a couple of different presentations, and now this is the final presentation for adoption by the board this evening, correct? Yes? Okay. Yes, that's, okay, so you need us to go down? Yes. Okay, all right. So board, if we could please take seats in the audience, and then we will hear the full presentation. I will bring the mic.
Again? Ready? Okay. All right. Good evening, members of the Board of Education and members of the community. So this evening, before the proper budget presentation, the departments within curriculum and instruction and programs, alongside our operational colleagues, are here to share how our work reflects a single coherent system. Our goal is to provide insight into how resources have been used this year, the impact of these investments on teaching and learning, and how we plan to move forward for the 26-27 school year. At the center of this work is a simple question. How Not a problem. Okay. So at the center of this work is a simple question. How are we using our resources to best support the students we serve? So we always begin with our vision, our mission, and our motto. This year, we are ensuring that we're soaring together. We're doing things together as a coherent system, as a collective. To answer the question, we begin with who we are as Greenberg Central School District. Our district represents a rich diversity of culture, language, and lived experiences, as we've seen from our young people. Across our schools, students and families speak languages, including Albanian, Bengali, Chinese, French Creole, Haitian Creole, Korean, Mandarin, Persian, Russian, Spanish, Urdu, just to name a few. This is not just diversity in numbers. This is diversity in identity, diversity in perspective and voice. It is one of our greatest strengths as a school system. We serve approximately 1,742 students. That includes our preschool students in our preschool program. Our student population reflects this diversity. We have 52% as of this week, 52% Hispanic or Latino, 25% Black or African American, 12% white, 6% Asian, and 4% multicultural. In addition, 11% of our students are multilingual learners, and 24% are students with disabilities. This is who we serve. And it is this student population that drives how we design our programs, how we work together, how we allocate our resources, and how we define success. Okay. We are an IB World School District. Our focus is on nurturing students who are not only academically prepared, but who are thinkers, who are communicators, and who will become and are global citizens. This visual on the bottom is our trajectory that we've adopted. In the very beginning, you see our IB framework, and that's the top words. The words that are located on the top are from our IB framework, and that's the journey. At the very end is the New York State Portrait of a Graduate, the expectation that New York State has adopted and the expectations of what every 12th grader needs to have, the skill sets, the attributes by the time they graduate. So we have aligned beautifully, we are aligned beautifully to these New York State attributes, but this is something that began before the New York State Portrait of a Graduate. So, and that came and was derived from the core beliefs. Every investment and decision across these departments that you're going to hear from is grounded in these core beliefs. I'm going to depart just slightly because we looked at our IB framework and the skills, and just in terms of the world report, the World Economic Forum came out with the top 10 fastest growing skills by 2030. Take a look at these skills, these 10 skills. What you'll notice, by 2030, this is worldwide, the top 3 are more technical skills. But look at the last 7. Critical thinking, resilience, curiosity, leadership and social influence, talent management, analytical thinking, environmental stewardship. For those who have been in the district, working in the district, have students in the district, you'll notice that these tie very nicely to our approaches to learning, which is part of the IB skill set that our students are working towards with support of the teachers. So now let's get back. So all of my colleagues here are focused on this instructional core. What is written, what is taught, and what is tested. So to bring this vision to life, we work with this shared understanding. We focus on what students are learning. That's what's written. How teachers are delivering instruction. That's what's taught. And how we measure that learning. That's what's tested through the assessments to meet student success. This year, we've anchored that learning in clear learning targets, students understanding what is happening, what the day's lesson expectations are, intentional questioning so that we can have student discourse, which it was exhibited today from our young people speaking. And we want to make sure we have aligned evidence of learning. Every investment, once again, you will see this evening, whether it be academic or operational, is designed to support the instructional core. Here we have it. One school system, one purpose, academics plus operations. Strong instruction cannot exist without strong systems, and strong systems are intentionally designed to support instruction. So now I'm going to turn it over to our department administrators. This is the order of the presentation. We'll start first with Dr. Nadeem Faruqi, Director of Global Learning and Academic Excellence.
All right, good evening, everyone. So under the global learning, we're looking at expanding access, building voice, and preparing global citizens. The 3 departments that come under global learning are the English as a new language, world language, and the IB program. In the district, English as a new language is our ENL program that ensures multilingual learners have access to grade level content while developing English proficiency. In our world language program, we offer Mandarin K-12 and Spanish 4-12 to develop multilingual communicators with cultural awareness. And of course, our IB, a rigorous inquiry-based framework that develops critical thinkers and globally minded learners through our primary years program, our middle years program, and our diploma program. Here in the district, we are an IB continuum. Our primary years program begins in grades K through 6 with our early years in kindergarten, setting a foundation of inquiry, developing the whole child, which then is built upon in the MYP program, grades 7 through 12, where students use that foundation to build skills such as communication, independence, and agency. That leads us to our DP program, where students have the choice to take DP classes and earn a diploma program. This is grounded in the approaches to learning skills that develops the IB learner profile, where we create inquirers, knowledgeable students, thinkers, communicators, students that are principled, open-minded, caring, risk-takers, balanced, and reflective. It's woven not only in our classrooms, but in all the systems throughout our district. Investment to impact. Professional learning that strengthens productive student discourse through learning targets, questioning academic language. High-quality instructional materials. Dedicated ENL teachers, IB coordinators, and CELO biliteracy advisors. Support the CELO financial literacy, leveraging existing IB program components. Authentic language experiences, including excursions, assessments, and exhibitions. That's the investment. The impact from that investment is teachers deliver aligned, standards-based instruction across ENL, world language, and IB classes. Instruction emphasizes academic language, inquiry, and student discourse. That impact on the student experience is students communicate effectively in multiple languages, engage in inquiry, discussion, and real-world application of their learning. Students demonstrate proficiency through coursework, assessments, and recognized credentials, like the CELO biliteracy, IB coursework, and our AP results. Here's the evidence of our impact. In ENL, students are exceeding the expected growth targets on their English proficiency assessments. Those are the nicest stats from 2024. So both our elementary and our high school students went above their expected growth targets for their nicest stat in 2024. In our world language, we have 66% of our students that earned a 3+ on the AP Spanish language, and all our students that took the IB language Mandarin test all scored pretty high. And then across our Spanish languages, they did very well in all their IB exams. This year, we have 26 students challenging the seal of biliteracy tomorrow morning here in Woodlands in Spanish, Urdu, Mandarin, and Tagalog. In our IB, this year we have about 86 juniors. Of those 86 juniors, about half, 47%, are enrolled in at least one IB course, and 27 students are challenging the IB, are going towards the IB diploma. Our seniors, there's about 127, and about a third, 39%, are enrolled in at least one IB course, and 22 students are going for the IB diploma. So looking ahead, here are some priorities for 2026, 2027. Strengthening our multilingual learner system, our ENL program. We are transitioning from the nicest lat to WIDA, so investing in understanding the WIDA standards and the WIDA assessment. Continued professional learning for our ENL teachers and general education teachers. Refinement of our SIFE program and progress monitoring systems. And that is directly going to impact us by creating more targeted data-informed instruction and increase student growth in our English language proficiency. Expanding our biliteracy pathways, so expanding our CELO biliteracy supports. Continue to develop our dual language program, and we are piloting a Spanish curriculum in grades 4 through 6, which is going to increase the number of students earning the CELO biliteracy and expand access to multilingual learning opportunities. We're going to continue to strengthen our IB program, looking at professional development, the integration of approaches to learning, and conceptual framework for all across all our programs, looking at strengthening our PYP exhibition and our MYP personal project. The direct impact will be increased student agency, inquiry, and critical thinking, stronger alignment across pre-K-12 instructional experiences here in the district. And lastly, strengthening our family and community engagement, which is key. Expanding parent communication and outreach, but also creating family engagement opportunities for both the IB and multilingual. This would lead to family understanding and participation of all our programs and a stronger home-school partnership. So that's it for now.
Good evening. My name is Michael McCoy. I'm the Director of Phys Ed Health and Athletics. In my department, we all, not only when people see me, they think I'm the athletic director, but I also am in charge of physical education and health. In physical education, we provide students K through 12 with a program that develops students' physical fitness, movement skills while strengthening self-management, collaboration, and perseverance. Inclusive environment for all students, and we emphasize from K through 12 lifelong activities. In our health education, we deliver a curriculum that builds students' ability to make informed decisions about their physical, mental, and social well-being while fostering thinking and self-management skills. With physical education and health, athletics is a huge part of it. We offer interscholastic and extracurricular opportunities that promote teamwork, communication, and leadership. And you saw from our students tonight that they're not only athletes, but they are student athletes, and that's what we always call them, student athletes. So what is the impact? So this year we were fortunate enough to hire 2 new teachers, one in Woodlands and one is a district-wide who's our adaptive PE teacher. Gianna Straza is our Woodlands Middle School and High School Phys Ed and Health teacher, and Michael Swift is our adaptive PE teacher. And we have an old face in a new place. Mr. Pinto was our district AP teacher, and now he is at RJ Bailey. We invest in K through 12 PE curriculum development and professional learning. This year during our superintendent conferences, we took a deep dive into our curriculum. We worked K through 12, and one of the great opportunities we have here in Greenburgh is we're such a small district, so we have PE teachers who collaborate K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then with middle high school. I was fortunate enough to start at Jackson and have that opportunity to collaborate with our 2, 3 PE teacher, but got to know the high school PE teachers. What we also do is we collaborate with our athletic program, working with our coaches on our PE curriculum, because we want to build our athletic program through our phys ed program. We have community partnerships and also with our facility improvements. Impact on instruction, structured opportunities for physical activity, teamwork, and health education. We increase access to organized athletics, wellness program, and alignment with our physical education curriculum across grade levels. The impact on student experience, students engage in physical activity and health habits, students develop teamwork, discipline, and resilience, and students experience belonging through athletics and extracurriculars. Some of the impact that we have on our phys ed and athletic fields. We have a brand new tennis court that not only is for our athletic program, but it also is our phys ed curriculum. We started this spring with our Woodlands Middle High School students that are on the courts. Our boys tennis team will play their first match home tomorrow. Our girls, fortunately, had an opportunity to play one match last fall there. It's very exciting. The courts are gorgeous. We thank the community for supporting this. We also have our turf field. As you see, the turf is done. The track isn't. The track fingers crossed, will be done this May or June. We just ran out of good weather last year. These opportunities grow our athletic department. New facilities allow our student athletes to have the best, and that's what we want. In our health education, we increase and collaborate with community partners. On the bottom, you see our picture of CODA and JCK. JCK is a foundation that we've had a partnership over the last few years where he and his presenters come in and speak to our 7th through 12th grade students. We brought it down to Bailey 3 years ago. We're trying to incorporate it with our younger students also. And then CODA, we were fortunate enough 3 years ago to receive the opportunity along with a small amount of schools in Westchester County to pilot a curriculum for CODA, where CODA presenters came in for 2 years, presented to our health, did the curriculum with our health classes, and this year now our health teachers are teaching the curriculum. Last week, 3 of our health teachers, along with our social workers, attended a presentation at Bolsey's, and they also got called out on asking of how we present it and how we're doing. They check in with us. It's a very great opportunity for us, and we're looking to expand it with Bolsey's next year and the upcoming years. In athletics, we expanded access to our athletics beginning in the middle and high school across 28 varsity teams, including new opportunities that we've had over the last couple of years, girls flag football and girls wrestling. Some things that we had this year with our boys basketball team over the past 3 years, who has been successful. We also had our girls basketball team who qualified for the playoffs this year and won a playoff game. Our girls bowlers who continue to have success over the years. We had 2 females that competed at the state level this year. Our girls bowling team went undefeated in their league this year. So we are showing success. We had our volleyball team qualify for playoffs this year. Our fencing team is competing year in year for league titles. Scholar athlete, this fall we had 5 teams qualify for scholar athletes, 77 athletes combined in the fall season. What a scholar athlete is in New York State is 90% or above average. Each team qualifies with 75% of the roster has 90% or above that qualifies. In our winter season, we had also had 5 teams with over 83 student athletes. This spring, we're hoping to get 5 or more teams that qualify. This is a great opportunity for our student athletes to get recognized. We recognize them at the end of the year at our sports dinner, and they're also recognized in New York State. Right here is our number of participation throughout the last few years. We consistently stay in the 800s overall. We had, as you can see, between last year and this year, it looks like a big drop with 30 students. And if you look at a deep dive in this, it was in our modified, our 7th and 8th grade, where the number has dropped a little bit. In the last few years, some teams we haven't had a full number of athletes that have participated in that sport. But we continue to look each and every year at our numbers and how we can grow with our sports. Some of our priorities going forward, again, we're aligning strengthening our PE curriculum. We're refining and vertically align the physical education curriculum to ensure consistency and skill development. We want students in kindergarten, when they finish as seniors, they know what the curriculum is, and we want to see how they're building. Students experience a collaborative and progressive PE program, building physical literacy, self-management, and lifelong habits. Strength and health and wellness. We enhance the K-12 health curriculum to include physical, mental, and social-emotional wellness aligned to current standards and student needs. The impact is students develop the knowledge and skills to make informal, healthy decisions supporting overall well-being and readiness to learn. We're looking to expand our health program next year. Enhance athletic program and student experience, strengthen coaching program structures and student supports within our athletic programs. The impact of students demonstrating increased discipline, leadership, and resilience. Athletics is the best opportunity for students to learn in the future. Sports is an opportunity of failure and to learn failure and how to learn from that failure. And we want to improve in data collection and program monitoring, develop systems to track student participation, wellness outcomes, and program effectiveness. And we improve the ability to monitor students' engagement, refine program, and ensure access to opportunities. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Audrey Cabell, and I am the Director of Special Education and Pupil Personnel Services. I'm going to invite my colleague also, Dr. Heather Daig, to present with me, and she will present some of the slides. But tonight we're going to talk to you specifically about our department and what the wonderful things that we are doing in our department, but also share with you the data and the programs that we are offering in special education. So I'll start with the preschool program, ECP. We currently have 78 students who are classified in our preschool program, and the students are from ages 3 to 5, and our goal is to prepare them for kindergarten. So how do we do this? We prepare them by giving them exactly what they need, the services they need. So we do that by providing them with speech services, occupational therapy, physical therapy. Some of the students need to be placed in specific classes. We provide them with all the services that they need in order to provide them with the school readiness. We offer a number of continuum of special education services throughout our buildings. We have our integrated co-teach class, which is our classroom with 2 teachers, one being special education, the other one being a general education teacher. We also have our program ratio of 8-1-2, which is 8 students, 1 teacher, and 2 teacher assistants in the class. We have a 12-1-1, which is 12 students, 1 teacher, and 1 teacher assistant. And we have our 12-1-2 and our 15-1 and resource room. If you notice where the X's are, that's where the programs are offered in the various buildings. In front, you have the data, and I have to go a little bit closer because the numbers are a little bit small. But if you look, we provide you with the numbers of students that are classified by their, the number of students that are classified by their categories. So we offer from 2021 all the way to present students. So we had in 2021 to 2022, we had 124 students that were classified in our buildings. You see that the number has increased now this year to 327. So that's over 200 students more that we have in our district with speech and language impairment, autism, and specific learning disability at the highest categories for classification. We offer a number of related services in our school district as well. We offer speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, vision, feeding, hearing, and counseling services for our students to meet their needs. We have the totals on the bottom, with speech being the highest that we offer. 217 students receive speech services in our district. Some of the numbers, which you see in vision and feeding and hearing services, I put an asterisk near it. I did not indicate what buildings these students are because the numbers are so low. But we do offer those services to the students as well. I also want you to look at the columns with counseling and how many students we offer counseling to. Individual counseling, we offer 42 students, individual counseling, and for group counseling, we offer 85 students throughout the district. Our 504 data also is increasing. In 2024-2025, we had 59 students with 504s. We currently have 83 students now with 504s, with the middle high school numbers being higher than the rest of the district. Initial referrals is another data point that we want to monitor. So from 2022 to 2023, we had 28 initial referrals. So that means these students became classified, the number of students that became classified in that year. 2023-24, it was 25, 28 the following year. Currently, we are at 17 students that are classified, with May and June to be determined. There are meetings that are already scheduled for these months, but these students are not classified at the moment, so that's to be determined. Out-of-district placements is consistent as well. We have 30 students that are currently out of district and 3 students that are awaiting placement. Some of these students have been awaiting placement since last school year, and we're just waiting for an acceptance into the program. Out-of-district placements are necessary for some students because we aren't able to meet their needs here in the school district, but this is also something that we're revisiting to see if we can expand on programs here in the district for our students. We have a responsibility to serve students that are in our private schools that are within the Greenberg Central School District region. So Maria Regina is one, Mohawk, LaFell School, and Sacred Heart. So those students that are entitled to special education services and their parents choose to parentally place them in a private school. Currently, we service 14 students out of 47 eligible It's important to note that there are 47 students that are eligible, but their parents have decided not to accept any special education services, which is their right. So 14 students we currently serve, and last year it was 7. So that number is also increasing. Okay, I will turn it over to Dr. Daig, who will share some of the investment and impact.
Thank you and good evening. This is way past my bedtime, so I apologize, I'm a little sleepy up here, but I'm very excited to share. So here at Greenberg, special education and PPS are combined in the same department, and it encompasses a large array of services and responsibilities. So we have special education students, general education students, district of location, district of residency. There's just a whole array of students that we get to work with and support. So I'm going to talk about some of the initiatives and projects that we've invested in this year. So specifically, we looked at the continuum of services across all schools. So you saw Ms. Cabell presented where the continuum is currently, and we've looked at ways that we can potentially modify it moving into next year. We looked at strengthening our MTSS systems, so our tiers of support both for general education and special education students, which resulted in us updating our referral process. So we have seen a decrease in the referrals this year, which may be because of the change in referral process. We'll have to see, but again, something we've invested time in this year. We've also expanded our mental health services, which I'll get to in a minute, and we have ongoing professional learning for our teams to better support students and families with the array of services that we provide. So in terms of specific highlights, this year we partnered with the Iona School of Nursing for a new partnership, and they are offering us a teddy bear clinic at our Lee F. Jackson School. And then next year we are starting an asthma initiative partnership, which will be at Highview and R.J. Bailey. As part of this partnership, senior nursing students, so in their last semester, will be coming to the school 1 day a week for the full day to support in our nurse's office and to meet specifically with students diagnosed as having asthma. 1 in 8 students is diagnosed with asthma, and it is a serious condition that requires long-term care and treatment. So this program will make sure that students are ready at a young age to understand their needs and to better support themselves and make sure they're healthy as they grow. In addition, we are part of a RECOB grant with Southern Westchester BOCES. Several districts in Westchester received this grant, and we were lucky enough to be one of them. Through the grant, we were granted money and training and partnerships that have allowed us to expand our professional developments, increase our mental health services, allow for MTSS training, which I mentioned earlier, across all of our buildings, put funds towards the SEL library, and buy curriculum for Aaron's Law. We also have communication and partnership with the Westchester Institute of Human Development, and through them we were able to provide training to our speech and language pathologists both in the fall and upcoming in the spring at our Superintendent's Conference Day. So just as everything is changing so rapidly, AI technology, speech technology is changing very rapidly, and we want to make sure that our team is up to date on the latest trends in software. So this training was very pivotal in making sure that we're keeping up with the trends, especially as students and devices become more regular and more used in classrooms. Another area of highlight that I want to point to is we have partnerships with the Steffi Nosen Dance Studio and the Music Conservatory of Westchester. So through this partnership, we offer 96 sessions through all of our buildings starting in September through June, and students in our life skills classes get to participate in specially designed instruction for music and dance, which has been a really positive experience and something that we love to showcase to our families. Just like you had the play students up here today, it's just another great outlet for our students to enjoy the arts. This year, we were also very excited to start a special education and pupil personnel services newsletter. I will say this was our pilot year. I think we learned a lot from it, but we are excited to continue it going into next year. And as part of the newsletter, we highlighted the communication protocol, who families should go to when they have questions. We offered them the contact information for their building specifically, so each newsletter was tailored to each building. And then we provided special education and PPS specific content that really spoke to those needs and those families, in addition to the newsletters that are sent out by the buildings themselves and from the superintendent's office. We also are excited, as of yesterday, we confirmed that we were designated No Place for Hate school recipients for this school year as well. So last year we started the No Place for Hate program, which is an anti-bullying program, and it was led very much from our office. This year it was turned over to the building level and the social workers, and they delivered, and I'm very excited to say that they have all been designated a No Place for Hate school as well. So we are continuing that trend. In addition, I mentioned there was lots of increases in training through the RECROBS grant. So for behavioral training, we did offer CPI training this year. We had all of our psychologists and BCBAs go to Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES to get training on FBAs, functional behavior assessments. Our BCBAs are currently leading training in the school buildings with our one-to-ones, TAs, and teachers. And we have a vendor called All Points ABA who comes in and does classroom observations and coaching in real time with teachers on the grounds for challenging students that might need support. And then another area to highlight, back to our athletic director. So last year we we did our first annual basketball game between the Pioneer League athletes and our varsity and JV basketball team, which we will be continuing again this year. It is scheduled for May 29th. So I hope everybody can come out and watch the game. It's a pep rally during the school day, and the whole school attends, and we get to really just cheer on our special education Pioneer League athletes. And a huge shout out to Kevin O'Donohue, who is the coach of the Pioneer League, who is also the recipient of the Coach of the Year from the Special Olympics for the Hudson Valley region. So thinking ahead to the future, pretty much all of what I shared and highlighted is what we plan to do in the future. We plan to continue looking at the continuum of services. We plan to deepen our MTSS work. We plan to expand our counseling services. We want to work on transitions for both preschool and secondary students, looking at vocational opportunities and opportunities as they go into adulthood and maybe college. We also want to continue to build staff capacity through targeted professional development, strengthen our data systems and progress monitoring, and expand our family communication both with the newsletter but also through other options. So our plans for the future are very similar to our plans right now. We just want to continue to expand and grow in the work that we're doing to better meet our families where they are. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Technology, Ms. Kelly Verdina.
Sorry. Good evening. I'm Kelly Verdina, the Director of Technology, and I just wanted to share some of what we've been working on and some things to look forward to in the future. I'd like to talk about the department in 3 distinct pillars: network infrastructure, technology innovation, and data systems. By providing reliable, secure, and high-speed connectivity across all schools, we are able to ensure technology innovation, where we are advancing teaching and learning through instructional technology, digital tools, and emerging technologies, all while supporting the collection, integration, and use of data systems, enabling educators and leaders to monitor student progress, inform instruction, and improve decision-making. So we're going to start talking about investment and impact. Our investment, we have achieved success for one-to-one device equity, K-12, including touchscreen devices for the early grades. We are modernizing our classrooms with interactive new line displays, and we have replaced over 100 devices, which include desktops, laptops, and also some new lines. We've expanded our digital learning experiences, specifically the Hour of Code, which started out as an Hour of Code in a week-long event. We have expanded that throughout our schools, where all students pre-K through 12 experience coding activities throughout the year. We have Hour of Coding, STEAM nights, and this year we focused on having a family coding night where students flipped the script and they taught families how to code. We implemented fully digital assessment systems across New York State testing grades, and this year we have already kicked off at Highview and RJB. We are strengthening our infrastructure through the use of E-rate funding, IPAs, and regional partnerships through our LYRIC. The impact on instruction: teachers deliver instruction using these reliable interactive technology tools. This has increased opportunities for student inquiry and problem solving through digital learning. seamless administration of computer-based assessments without the loss of any instructional time, and improve access to instructional resources and data systems. The impact on our student experience is that every student has equitable access to a personal learning device. Students engage in a cyber-secure digital learning environment, and families engage in learning through interactive events and community experiences. This was a really huge success. We migrated our previous website from Finalsite to EdLeo, and we're really happy to launch our GCSD application. Very hot off the press. We have 740 downloads. We would love to increase that number, as this is a super beneficial app, even for myself, because you can enable, and I see some heads nodding because I know we talk about it a lot, you can allow for push notifications, and therefore we're always in the know with what's going on in the district. It's super sleek, user-friendly, easy to use. It has the calendars, news, and updates, and in case anybody wants to download it while we're talking, you can have it in the iOS or Apple store. Or Android, sorry. So as far as district-wide, we have successfully completed the camera upgrade, and this installation is across the district and has been in all schools. One really huge gap that we closed was the deployment of an innovative cellular gateway camera, because our field does not have, it will, Wi-Fi on the field. And so we used a cellular gateway, which now allows us to safely view the field during events and also outside of that. Server migration project. This was a huge undertaking and really large success. We have migrated 90% of our servers off premises. The remaining server migration is dependent on future projects, but that is something planned for the future. And this allows for reliability and security district-wide, safeguarding all of our critical data by removing it off-prem. Network upgrade, Cisco refresh. We proudly talk about this often. We see it in phases, but I'll talk about what's been completed so far. So we completed the total replacement of the new network switches from end-of-life network switches, and we also replaced our outbound VoIP fiber line upgrade through Verizon. We cleaned up and organized wiring that is associated with these projects, and we installed uninterruptible power supplies. Not completely, we began the process, which keeps it either limits downtime or it keeps it limited because they are a backup power. Technology, enhanced identity protection. So we implemented multi-factor authentication, which I know some of you are not fond of. However, it definitely ensures that the staff and students remain safe. Cybersecurity awareness, we conduct, and we actually just had a recent educational phishing simulation for all staff. And I am very proud to say that in recent times, when we do receive a phishing email, staff are appropriately following the steps to report it, and also, sometimes when prompted, entering a help desk ticket so it can be looked into and blocked accordingly. We replaced shared vulnerable passwords with 3 distinct secure wireless networks. Previously, we had a Wi-Fi, and the password had been the same for quite so many years, but we found out that that information was leaked out. And so we have 3 different Wi-Fi networks. So Enterprise is for those who are inside of GCSD to be connected to. Guest is for any guests that attend. And BYOD is if you're a staff member, not for students, which is another conversation, but if you're a staff member that brought your own device, you're connected to that network as well. If there was any password released, we can easily change it because there are 3 separate platforms. This actually has helped us eliminate or minimize any devices that students have brought in, because when we did the switch over with the SSID, they were booted off of our network, and we don't put them back on it. So that was actually helpful. So the impact is a safer, more secure environment where families can trust the student information and the physical well-being are prioritized. So looking ahead, 26, 27 priorities, you can look out for us ensuring reliability, high-speed access across all learning environments, advanced digital fluency and AI literacy, creative, innovative spaces and equitable learning environments, strengthening safety, security, and communication systems, sustaining infrastructure through strategic investment and partnerships, and strengthening systems integration and operational efficiencies. So this is an exciting vision and upcoming project. Innovative learning spaces, I shared some photos of our before on the right-hand side, and the left-hand side are illustrative only because, right? We have some very passionate people who are like, not those chairs. So it's illustrative only, and bearing in mind the students. And what was really nice is that at the last tech committee, we were able to hear from students. We had about 10 students pop in and out that we were able to hear from. So some of the stuff that I'm sharing is directly from them. An overarching desire to feel a sense of belonging and a desire to learn. So they, while this was made with the help of our AI friend, they do want a bright environment, and they speak about the coloring not feeling very welcoming. So they want to transition from traditional desks to adaptable furniture and have different zones with a purpose, which is really kind of nice, and then also having them be mobile so that we can kind of move it accordingly to whatever that space will be. They want a sense of feeling of teamwork and collaboration, creating dedicated areas for coding, gaming, expanding of Hour of Code activities, or even creating their own games or applications, which is really nice. They want to feel empowered to transition to creating. I talk very much about, they may go on and consume all of this information on the internet, but we are lacking that component of creativity, and so we really want to see that happen there, and these students are looking forward to a place where they can create. They also want background music, and they want to create music, and they said that that will really kind of balance them and get them engaged in the learning process, which was really nice to hear. Wireless upgrade replacement doesn't sound super exciting, but it will impact all of us and our ability to connect. So stronger Wi-Fi everywhere. We have already purchased and received 300 wireless access points. We are in the process of getting a vendor lockdown and having installation done so that our connectivity can be felt, the improvement can be felt across the district, because we're not there yet, but we are a step closer. We're moving towards the Lyric Consortium model, which will end dead zones, enabling Wi-Fi calling and Wi-Fi texting in buildings that have poor cell service. Automatic roaming, you can sign in once, so if you connect to consortium and then you leave and you go to another building, you're still connected, and if you go to another district that has consortium, you also can be connected, which is really nice, and it is super secure, because if you're a GCSD employee, you are logged in with your credentials, but guests also have the ability to log in as well, just via their phone number instead, so that's really nice. Door access and lockdown. We've been talking about this a lot. Some of you may have heard about it. This is another really important project that is up and coming. So our current door access hardware is approaching end of life as well. 2029 is the end of life for premises. So we are looking for a system that will work well with our other current systems. The upgraded system will be modern, integrated, and a platform that includes panic buttons and a district-wide lockdown capability, ensuring the safety of staff and students. The lockdown system is separate from the door access system, and so when we do approach this project, there will be phases. Connecting our campus, fiber expansion project. This has been a huge project that has come up, in the 4 years I've been here, it comes up every year, and I know it's been up as a priority the years before that, but it is finally happening, which is really big. So we're closing the gap. We're bringing high-speed internet to key areas, especially the football field. So that will be huge. And creating redundancy from the cottage and ECP, which will just create a stronger network for all of us. supporting safety, enabling security cameras and emergency communication in areas that previously lacked reliable service, creating a more direct, efficient connection between campuses for faster and more dependable access, and responsible use of the funds, secured upgrades at no cost where possible, and we're leveraging our E-rate funding for this project. And another one that is approaching end of life is our VoIP phone system. So we will be upgrading our aging infrastructure by replacing the end-of-life phone system to ensure consistent, highly reliable service, providing staff with a modernized hardware and updated features for both internal and external communications, and aligning our communication systems with our newly upgraded network infrastructure to guarantee uptime during daily operations and emergencies. So the nice thing about it is that they can access it. It's essentially from an application. I won't get into vendors at this time, but they're all accessible through an application. So they can have phone calls on their desktop or laptop or a handheld like we traditionally have, but it's all done through an application. Oops, sorry. Up next is Director of Facilities, Dennis Pugliese.
How do you move to the next slide? Is it right here?
Yeah, next is you.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Dennis Pugliese. I'm the Director of Facilities. Let's see what we got here. Oh. Jeez. Wrong way. Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's not working. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, facilities and operations, you can see some of the infrastructure that's getting replaced here. Capital improvements, facilities and modernization, implements capital projects and upgrades that modernize school facilities, enhance learning environments, and expand opportunities for student programming. There's the preventive maintenance and facilities operation by maintaining the buildings and ground systems through routine maintenance and operations. We ensure reliability, efficiency, and minimal disruption to the teaching and learning process. Health, safety, and compliance ensures all facilities meet health, safety, and regulatory requirements, providing a secure and well-maintained environments that support student and staff well-being. Some of these before and after slides you're going to see, a lot of these are from small projects as well as some of the capital. You'll see the boilers before and after. You'll see some of the roof projects. That was Highview Elementary School. We've been putting some roofs on our buildings and increasing, these projects are going a little faster, but you see the, but with the energy performance project, yeah, we've got a couple of buildings with new boilers in each building. Lee F. Jackson received 2 boilers. Highview Elementary received 2 boilers. We have a gas line back to Woodlands High School and gas for our boilers at LF Jackson, as well as Highview Elementary. Some of these before and after pictures, that's R.J. Bailey. Some of the bathroom upgrades that I've been able to do through my budget over the last several years. This is the R.J. Bailey gym before we renovated, and that's the after product. Some of our playgrounds that you'll see here. Just maintenance upkeep of some of the buildings, our roadways, and some of the infrastructure here. This is the roof buildings. This is the water main fire hydrant project. This is the solar array behind the football field. Some more of the bathrooms that have been done. This is the gas line. This is the Woodlands High School gym before and after, and you can see our kids are competitive in basketball. We go anywhere through the section, the states, and the regionals, and our gyms are as good as better as any in the state. Investment, capital improvements, and modernization of the learning spaces, the fields, the classrooms, and infrastructure. we talked about the preventive maintenance with the new boilers from the energy performance project. You know, we're trying to eliminate disruptions. You know, if we had one of the coldest records for winters on record, and you know, fortunately, you know, we didn't have to cancel school for any no loss of education for our students. So we're trying to lessen the impact and disruptions on our students. Some of these pictures here you've seen before. We've heard Mr. McCoy say that our students are able to use the, that's actually the tennis court. It looks like a roof, but that's really the tennis court before. This is our security vestibule. We were talking about this. We put Woodlands back on the map because we were lagging behind with our security in the building, but this is the Woodlands High School gym that was completed 4 summers ago. And the students, we're talking about the lighting projects that were going on here. Just the infrastructure, we replaced a lot of the breakers and lighting to upgrade it to modern to make the building safe. Some of the roofs that we're doing here, this is a Woodlands High School roof. A couple of the bathrooms here at Woodlands. This is LF Jackson floors. You'll see the before and after. Thank you.
All right, so that concludes this part of the presentation. Just reminding that the question that we started off with is how are we using our resources, how are we investing our efforts, our resources, our people to support this instructional core to serve our young people. We had both departments from academics and operations, and they clearly are not separate efforts. They're efforts for one system, one school system. Sorry, why did that? Okay, let's try again. There we go. One school system, one purpose. And just repeating what we said before, the strong instruction can't exist without a strong systems. And I think that when we think about the conditions that enable this to happen, you really think about the operational component, creating a safe, welcoming environment. We heard that. And then also, these are, each individual, if you just, hopefully you felt what I felt, that this is a lot of work. It is a small district, but the work remains the same for the system to work and for progress to happen. And we are responsibly being responsible stewards of the monies that we are given to make the best decisions for our young people. All right, so thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Dr. Chisholm.
Thank you, Dr. Njoku, and thank you to our teaching and learning, curriculum and instruction, and operations team for their presentation this evening. We are going to move right into the revised proposed budget for tonight. I'll be co-presenting with Ms. Merrill, the Assistant Superintendent for...
Dr. Chisholm, I'm so sorry. I do think there's a question.
Oh, certainly.
I don't know if you want it at the end of your budget presentation, the question for the whole the department that just went, the whole.
We could do that in that way, if that's okay with whoever has the question. If they want to.
Okay. Are they staying the whole to the end?
Are you staying to the end, or you are? They're staying.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we did want to present for adoption the revised. I feel like we always doing this, but here we go. I won't go through this again because we've already done this at the beginning of the previous presentation, but just always centering our work on our why. Our why is our vision, our mission, the motto, and then soaring together for a greater Greenburgh, and the why is always around the students. Again, our budgetary beliefs, students first. They are the core and the center of what we do as a teaching and learning organization. And as part of that, you know, the largest group here, really outside the students, are the teachers. So making sure that we have the district and the school staff, the professional learning and the instruction that needs to be here in order to support our students. And then again, grounding ourselves in our vision, mission, and goals for our strategic plan. Students first, strategic alignment, equity access, fiscal stewardship and sustainability, our obligations and compliance with state and federal guidelines, as well as taxpayer responsibilities. These are the 6 buckets that really drive our decision-making around our budget and what it'll look like for 2026, 2027. Student outcomes, and of course, remaining fiscally responsible. This slide just demonstrates an alignment of our district strategic goals with our 4 SOAR pillars, and then where do we see this alignment of the crosswalk as it relates to student success? You did hear from our student support services and people personnel department around like SEL, intervention services, the staffing that needs to be in place to support the students and our growing student needs around students with disabilities. Our operational excellence, you heard from Mr. Pugliese and even Mr. McCoy in terms of our facilities, the maintenance that is happening. Our students spoke about how they see it showing up in their daily experience in their daily lives. Attracting and retaining top talent, and then our responsive relationships. Again, wanting to grow our communication, our family engagement, but making sure that we're providing supports to our students and families. So again, those major drivers that we continue to talk about that really impact our budget are salaries, our contractual obligations, the benefits and insurance increases, employee contracts and contractual negotiations, our student enrollment and program mandates, as well as transportation costs. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Merrill, who will go into the numbers and figures as it relates to the budget and the revisions that we're proposing.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. If anybody is interested in a budget line by line, I do have copies up here. They're also available on the budget website, on the district website, the budget tab. If you were at the last presentation we did last week, I just want to make note that there was only one change in the budget line to line, and it had to do with the voting software that has been moved to a different line. So if you are interested in a new copy, help yourself. I'm going to try to get through this without coughing. So if I cough, I apologize. Okay, so we're going to talk about our additions to the 26-27 budget. We are proposing four total FTEs totaling $247,921. They include an elementary art teacher, 2 security aides, 1 custodial staff member, and a stipend security coordinator position. To offset that, we are proposing some reductions or reallocations in the 26-27 budget. We are looking to access a part-time clerk position that is currently vacant, a full-time secretary to school administrator position that is currently vacant. We do have 1 school nurse that is for a school that is going to be closing. And we were able to have some cost savings with breakage with our retirements. For those that don't know what breakage is, it's when our longstanding employees retire and the employees that come in to replace them, there is some cost savings with that. So we were able to total up cost savings of $294,126. We're going to talk about the property tax cap. If you had seen previous budget presentations, we did have a higher tax cap, and we have heard recommendations from the Board of Ed and the community, and we are proposing a tax cap levy of 3.03%. On this slide, on the left-hand side, you see what our actual is for 2025-2026, and the actual was 4.06 in the current year budget. So we are proposing a tax levy of $71,875,599. In order to stay under the 2%, we could have gone up to 6.14%, but we are staying substantially below that at 3.03%. We'll move right along to the superintendent's proposed budget. These are our expenditures. You can see that our total budget that we are proposing for 26-27 is $87,398,325. It is a budget-to-budget change of 3.11%. The majority of our expenditures do go towards our salaries and benefits of our employees. We have no increase in the equipment and supply line. A slight increase in contractual. You do see the BOCES go up a little bit. We will always try to use BOCES because it is fiscally responsible. We're able to get aid back on the services that we do contract with BOCES. Our debt service has been increased by $845,000, and we do have a reduction in our interfund transfer line, bringing us to a total of $87,398,325. So this is an explanation of what our capital interfund transfer of $641,895 is. These are prior projects that we have been noted in our last 2 external audits. These are overexpended projects, and what needs to happen is when you go over budget on a project, the general fund has to make it whole. So we're hoping to clean this up so that this year we actually don't get a mark on our external audit again. And this will be this is built into the budget, $641,895. So to offset our expenditures, when you build a budget, your revenues need to balance your expenditures. So here you will see revenues totaling $87,398,325, which equals our budget. The bulk of our revenue is our real property taxes. You'll see our tax cap at the top of the $71,875,599 at 3.03%. We do have a reduction in our pilots. For next school year, one of the pilots is scheduled to go back on the tax roll. We do receive revenue from Westchester for sales tax. We have tuition that we bill out in health services. And you will see our state aid. Again, the state aid is still a projected. The budget has not passed. I believe there's been 3 extenders. We are hoping that the budget does pass soon so we could get more definite numbers on what our state aid will be. And then we have other revenues that come from rentals, Medicaid billing, a variety of different things. So by law, we are required to present a 3-part budget. This budget is broken down between program, which is our largest portion of the budget. We see 77% is going towards program. This encompasses teacher salary, classroom resources, and student transportation. We have our capital budget, which is 14%. And this includes debt service, maintenance, utilities, custodial staff, salaries and benefits, and other day-to-day school operations. We have our administrative piece, which is 9%, and this is funding that is allocated for district leadership and other central office functions, such as legal and board expenses. Okay, so with our property tax levy of 3.03%, we wanted to give an example of how that would impact a single average family home in Greenburgh. We do have that the single average family home is $744,502. We break that down per 1,000, and we up top between the tax levy and the total town assessment, we're able to create a tax rate of 13.64%. When all the calculations are done, for a single average family home, we're looking at an annual tax bill of $10,155.28. That is an annual increase of $796 and change. On the bottom, we've broken that out for you by month, week, and day, down to $2.18 per day. So this slide here talks about the benefits of funding your school district. There's a lot of different positive outcomes that come from stronger outcomes. Students succeed more when home and school work together. There's more opportunities. Schools can offer better programs and classes. We're looking to bridge the gap, extra resources, help ensure no student is left behind, and attracting growth. Great schools draw more people and businesses to live and work here in Greenburgh. Some of our next steps in the budget development process, we're hoping that the board adopts the budget tonight. We do have a budget workshop next Monday, which is going to be here in Woodlands in the Innovation Lab at 6:30. On Tuesday, May 5th, at the board meeting, we will have our budget hearing. And on Tuesday, May 12th, we will have our final budget workshop at the TDY Community Center from 6:30 to 8 p.m. This is basically a timeline of the meetings that we still have coming up. Oh, hang on, what happened here? Okay. This brings us to our final budget vote on Tuesday, May 19th from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. here at Woodlands Middle High School. That concludes the presentation. We will open it up for questions. I do want to just mention, we do have an email, budget@greenburghcsd.org. We also have a page on the district website that we are adding things to every day. So if you have questions, if you feel free to email, and we'll be happy to respond. But for right now, we'll open it up. I know that some people had questions about the other departments.
I only heard of one question, so if trustees have two, because it is late, it's 10. I think some trustees are going to send in the board packet to try to get some things answered. So, I also have a question, that's 3. So I'm going to pass the mic to Trustee Mance.
Yes. This is going back to the first presentation. The IB program in New York, right? Because we have the PYP, NYP, and DP programs. Are we like the only one or just a few? Can y'all elaborate on our statistic with that?
Yes. So we are one of the few in the state, but now in Westchester, it's like Harrison just got approved for their PYP, so they'll also be a full continuum like us.
Oh, okay. My other question is a PPS question. Resource room, I saw it was just for the high school. Is there not one for the middle school as well?
There is one it's offered to a few students in the middle school as well. So, but primarily it's used in high school.
Okay, thanks. Well, yeah. No, it's not. Okay, so Mrs. Merrill, while you were up there, I don't know if you may have just quoted something, but when we were looking at the FTEs that are kind of being reduced, if you will, when you got to the nurse, you said a school was closing, unless my ears just didn't hear that. So can you explain what's going on?
That's for Sacred Heart. We currently employ the nurse at Sacred Heart, and we were told that Sacred Heart School is closing.
Okay, you had me nervous because I'm like, I know things that go on, but I didn't hear about that.
I'm sorry, I should have been more specific.
No, I'm glad you asked that. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted it to be very clear. So I don't know if the whole public understands that we also fund nurses in private and parochial schools within our catchment area. So
yes, we do employ the nurses in the Greenburgh, private schools in the Greenburgh area.
Right, so when you say a school is closing, a private school, it's not like one of our public school buildings, because someone may hear that.
No,
and
it's Sacred Heart.
Thank you. So my question was for Ms. Cabell. I tried to take some pictures, so I want to make sure I ask about the correct slide here. Looking at the specifications for students by classification. I think the bottom current year, the bottom line is we have 327 students classified. And just looking at the span of time, it's gone up significantly from, can you talk about that a little bit?
So
I don't want to put you on the
this
spot.
is some of the work that we're doing as a department, looking at the data, looking at the numbers, looking at the reasons why. And that's why we're changing some of the systems. So and that's some of the bullet points that we put at the end, strengthening MTSSI within the schools, having a deeper understanding of what that looks like in each of the school buildings.
I need you to explain that, because everybody doesn't know what that is.
So the tiered intervention services that are provided to all students in the buildings. So all students are entitled to tiered interventions within the building that are for general education students, for special education students that don't require special education services. So strengthening that, the tiered intervention, what happens in the classroom, what happens maybe during academic intervention support services, strengthening that so that way we can reduce the need for special education services for students.
Lastly, when I looked at the numbers for, there was some key areas that grew greatly. I think autism was by 5, but specific learning disability grew by 17 students in just 1 year.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, do you have any examples of what would a specific learning disability be?
Yes, a student with dyslexia is
For
a
example.
specific learning
Okay.
disability.
And then speech and language impairment also grew significantly in 1 year. But over the past, I guess, 5 years, it looks like things have grown. Are there any, last question, are there any theories within the community, a special education community, on do all schools look like that? Like what?
So this is really common across the state of New York, across the nation, what's happening. We have to remember the data that I pulled, it started in 2021, 2022. The year before that was the pandemic, right? So we have a lot of students that did not receive support services for a number of years. So that impact is happening now. So it's trickling into the school buildings where school-age students now require additional services kind of as a catch-up, okay? And we'll start to see, what they're projecting is we'll start to see it go down, and but right now it's really high, and the needs are very high and very great because of students that did not receive the support services that they really needed during those pandemic years.
Okay, thank you. And Trustee Jacobson.
Can I add one thing also? I'm sorry. I did not mention in the slides, and I didn't put in the slides, the number of students that are transferring into our district with existing IEPs from other districts. So that's another number that I am tracking. So this year so far, we've had 38 students transfer into Greenberg with existing IEPs from other districts.
So another district may have designated the student as
Correct.
needing, and then we're obligated to pick that up. Do we reevaluate, or?
We do not reevaluate. We usually accept the recommendations from the other school district, but if it is a student that, where we don't have the ratio of the class size that they recommended, we will have a meeting with the parents, but typically the ratios are similar in the districts. So I also want to add that some of those students that have transferred into the district were students that were out of district already. So really it's just a transfer of tuition. So we are now responsible for their tuition payment.
I'm sorry, you gotta go back, walk me
Okay.
back. So 38 students this year alone have transferred in up through
Correct.
April.
Correct.
And you said we have to pay their tuition?
So if it's a student that's placed already out of districts, so if, let's say, another school district already placed that student, the student is placed in an out-of-district BOCES placement. They transfer the IEP to us. The family has moved into Greenberg. The IEP is transferred to us. We continue the service at BOCES, but now we have to pay the tuition for the student.
Okay, so sometimes, I'm sorry, Erin, I know you have a question, and it's getting late, so I'm gonna wrap up quickly. But sometimes we hear people say, you have X amount of budget that you're proposing, and you have X amount of students, and you're paying this much per student, because they just do the division. That's not true, because some students may require additional tuition for a different school.
Correct.
I also saw something, I feel like you had 30, I could be wrong, but 30 students placed out of district?
Correct.
And is that residential?
No.
No.
That's not necessarily residential. These are students that are in private school settings that are, aside from the other private schools, they are special education private schools and also students that are in BOCES programs.
Do we have students in residential care?
Yes, we do.
Do you know the number?
Yes, I do.
What's that number?
2 students.
So only 2, okay. So that's not that high. Okay, thank you, and I think I'm done. Trustee Jacobson.
First, I just want to thank the administration for both presentations. I gained a lot from seeing what each department is doing, and I highly recommend seeing if there's a way to boil it down for maybe back to school nights and for families to see, because I think sometimes we are so embedded in the work that we do, we don't always realize that people aren't seeing the same things we are, and they don't always know that all of these things are happening and all the hard work that you're doing. So I really appreciate the breakdown of all of that work. I particularly appreciate the look at our students in all of their versions of diversity, and that includes their talents, their interests, and their learning needs, and how each student has a pathway to be the best version of themselves, the best community member they can be, and the best academic student they can be. And I very much I take a lot of pride in our district for IB, for the fact that I know my kids could get picked up and plopped down in any situation and have the tools that they need because of the education they're receiving, not just academically. And I think when we're looking at the budget and thinking about the whole student and what each student needs to be successful, keeping that in mind is incredibly helpful. So I think teachers and parents and everyone understanding the trajectory for students, especially at like Lee-F. Jackson and ECP, or where we see drop-offs to private school, reminding those parents that there is a path for any student here. And I think that's super important. I actually do have a question for Ms. Cabell as well. And I just had a question about the students receiving individual or group therapy. Are those students ones who it is part of their required services through their IEP? Does that also include ones who self-refer and ask for services, or is that a separate thing?
That's something separate. That's part of that tiered intervention, MTSSI, where if any student is in need of counseling services, they can receive that without having an IEP. The students that I refer to in the slide with the related services, those are students that are mandated. So it is in their IEP.
Okay, so it wouldn't include even like the clubs that are like the girls groups and stuff like
Does
that,
not.
that we're all aware of.
Correct.
Okay. Is there a way to also capture some of those numbers
Absolutely.
too? Because those are still services we're providing, even if they're not mandated
Absolutely.
services. Thank you.
I have one more thing. I'm so sorry. I did hear you say, and I thought Ms. Verdina said something about paying for services with grants. I heard you say it, I know. Well, I don't know, Ms. Verdina, did you say grants? Two people said it. It was 2 people. I heard 2 different people, and I just wanted to highlight that. And I don't know if Dr. Chisholm wants to speak on it, or Dr. Njoku, or any specific department, of how many, opportunities do we take to try to get grants as well to cover for.
Well, we try to
for-
take as many opportunities as we can to get grants. I know that we talked about the RECOVS grant. Some of our special education services come out of, what is it? IT 611, 619 grants to help offset some of the costs that that are attributed to those services. So anytime we can get an opportunity for grants or any federal funding, we're going to apply and hopefully get that grant and then work it into our budget or offset the budget expenses.
Okay, great. I think it was training for professional development somewhere.
Yes,
There
you
was-
did hear that.
That was, okay.
So when I presented the Steffi Nosen Dance Company, the Westchester Music Conservatory, the All Points ABA therapy, and the professional development training for the MTSSI were all covered by grant funds.
Thank you. I just think that's relevant for the budget so that we can all know that we try to offset some of those things with grants. Did you have a question? No?
And I just
Okay.
want to say that, I know we're saying MTS, we're using a lot of acronyms. I feel like education is alphabet soup. But MTSS is the multi-tier system of supports, and with the I is the intervention piece, so that we kind of decrease, like Ms. Cabell was saying, and decrease the number of students that are being referred to special education by tracking data and implementing systems and things in place to hopefully prevent that. One of the things that we're going to be looking at too moving forward is declassifying students. So once we put those supports in place, giving them the skills that they need to be able to mitigate the academic world for themselves, and then what does declassification look like? So it's not, I'm classified and I'm now classified for the rest of my school career.
Okay, thank you. We do have an obligation, though, to give them
Services beyond it. And
what
once
they
declassify-
need.
Yes, we
So,
do.
okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. No questions? It's so quiet. Let's move on. It's 10:09. I'm not sure what's next. Do you guys have another presentation? You're done? Okay, board, then let's go back to the stage, please, and finish our meeting.
This is probably more for the public watching, but this presentation, every budget presentation we've done is on the budget page on the district website, and it's also, there are also presentations in Spanish there as well.
Okay, thanks everyone for moving so quickly. Next item on the agenda is item D, budget. Can I get a motion, please?
I move that we adopt item D, I move that we adopt item D on the budget.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Discussion.
Yes, trustee Valen?
I'll let Ms. Merrill get settled, but asking via the board president. Thinking of our budget and the real property tax report card, which are the two items we're voting on right now. And with the state budget not being complete, is there any impact if our estimated state numbers differ from the actual implemented budget? Because that's going to be voted on. I think today's Tuesday, I think tomorrow or Thursday, they expect another extension to be filed. So we're not going to know it tonight magically. So are you able to speak to how that impacts what we approve tonight?
Is it on? Okay. Yes, no?
Yep.
Yes? So I think I understand your question. What I will say is, in past years, a lot of times you hear that the state budget is having, it's school aid related. That doesn't seem to be the case currently. It seems like it's more policy as far as like housing policy, climate, reductions to federal aid on the state level. So I think people seem to feel like we're not going to see large reductions. There isn't the big talk like there was last year about the foundation aid, and this year they're proposing a minimum of 1% for all school districts, and we are listed obviously a lot more than 1%. So again, it's built into our revenue. It's obviously not final until the state budget passes. If the state budget were to pass and we would have a reduction in our state aid for what we've built into the revenue, we would have to make that up somewhere else.
Okay, but if we're approving this bottom line budget number tonight and the associated report card, the report card delineates the proposed tax levy. It does not delineate all the other revenue items in the budget. So whether we make it up would not, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like we would have to make it up in another portion of our revenue budget and not in the proposed tax levy?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. The budget is adopted. Next, we have our reports. The ex officio student report. We have Mr. Cinco here this evening. Do you have a report for us?
Hello, everyone. It's great to be back. I haven't been here in a while, so. We saw the drama club members come and say why they love drama club and their commitment. But there's also another thing about drama club. There's 2 people who got eligibility for Roger Rees. It's like this big award recognition all over high school. So that's great. It's for Elizabeth Kreitzberg and Donovan Russell. Also in next week, May 2nd, I will be performing at Carnegie Hall with the National Children's Chorus. Yeah. There's also Earth Day tomorrow where the Rho Kappa is hosting Cleanup Day with the Rho Kappa Honor Society. What else? I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Eli. Any questions or comments about Eli's report? Yes, no? Okay. And during your report, I was passed the inquiry. Trustee Warner, what exactly was your motion? Was it for D1 or was it for?
Adopt items, it's basically items D1 and D2.
D1 and D2,
Yeah.
okay, for clarification. Yeah, because I know your question was more about the real property report card. And so that's what, yeah, I wanted to clarify that we didn't miss D2. No?
Right.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Eli.
Roger Rees. It's like a eligibility. We're talking about the Roger Rees.
Oh, okay, all right. Next, we have board president's report. I'm going to table that. I was just going to talk about the college acceptance day coming up and our students doing well after 12th grade, but I think we're going to move on. It's after 10:15. We do have our superintendent of schools report, though, so I'm going to pass that on to Dr. Chisholm.
Good evening, Board President, mayors, trustees, community members. My report is just going to be a response to an inquiry that was made at the last regular board session by a public speaker. The questions asked were, when would this board decide to protect the community's resources? When will you seriously consider measures such as consolidating building use, reducing busing through greater reliance on neighborhood schools, adjusting staffing to reflect declining enrollment, and pursuing other real efficiencies? The other questions were regarding the district-wide condition survey mentioned in the budget. Was this survey secured through a competitive bid process? And in what manner were the taxpayers notified about this expenditure? How is the board addressing the financial impact of budget increases on senior citizens and taxpayers? And so I will try to chunk my responses. So one, the district does appreciate all public comments and the opportunity to address these important questions regarding the proposed budget and our stewardship of community resources. And we do recognize the concerns related to enrollment trends and per pupil cost. While enrollment has remained steady, many of the district's fixed costs, such as facilities, transportation, contractual obligations, do not. And as a result, we have been deliberate in examining those expenditures, aligning staffing where appropriate, and identifying operational efficiencies while maintaining the academic programs and supports our students need. As it relates to the district-wide condition survey, regarding the financial transparency there, that we do remain committed to being as clear and open communication as possible. All capital expenditures, including the district-wide building condition survey, are presented at public board meetings and are included in budget materials. And this particular service was procured in accordance with New York State procurement requirements, and the details have been made available through public documentation and board presentations. In regards to how the board is addressing the financial impact of budget increases on senior citizens and taxpayers, just briefly, in response to concerns about taxpayers, including senior citizens, the board carefully does consider, or the district considers, the tax levy in alignment with New York State tax cap as presented, and available exemptions such as STAR. The district does work to balance fiscal responsibility with its obligations to provide a high-quality education for all students. There were some questions about out-of-district placements. And so in regard to out-of-district placements, those are often mandated based on student needs as determined through the Committee on Special Education process, which was also presented this evening by our Special Education Department. And those things are governed by state and federal regulations, so they are required. And we will always seek cost-effective options while ensuring compliance and appropriate services for students. And so that concludes my superintendent's report and the response to those questions.
I have something to
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chisholm. Are there any questions or comments? I see Mr. Cinco has one.
It's nothing about like your speech, but there's the flea market on May 2nd.
Oh, okay.
For I think this is for
Woodlands High
the
School Scholarship Fund.
Yeah, they will.
And where is it?
May 2nd, Saturday,
Where?
10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Richard Presser Park Webfield.
Benefiting?
The weather's like shifty.
But who does it benefit again?
It benefits the
scholarship fund.
The
Woodlands High School Scholarship Fund. I'm sorry, I'm so tired.
So you can
I'm
make
so
the flea
tired.
market. So the Woodlands High School Scholarship Fund has their annual free market this Saturday from
Yes.
what time?
10 a.m.
Sorry,
to 5
Saturday,
p.m.
May 2nd. Good, thank you for letting me
10
know.
a.m. to
So I
5
didn't go
p.m.
this Saturday. Saturday, May 2nd from 10
a.m. to 5 p.m.
to 5 p.m. And that the proceeds from that go to funding scholarships for graduating seniors. Yes, Trustee Warner.
And is there an opportunity to make donations like the day before? Does it list that on the poster?
That's a good question. Trustee Valen has the information. I'm on the committee,
And while
but I have
Trustee
not made
Valen
any-
is looking for that information, just a gentle reminder that this Saturday, from 9 to 1 p.m. here at Woodlands Middle High School is the substitute teacher at all positions job fair. Here, come with your resume. We are ready to interview on-the-spot candidates. So that is here this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Woodlands Middle High School.
Wonderful, good to know.
And the marking period has started for Woodlands High School.
What happened?
The marking period just started for
Oh, a new marking
period
period.
4.
Okay,
and
last
a lot
quarter.
of IBIAs for the seniors.
Yeah, I know, it's
like
very
so
heavy for
stressful.
some reason.
So bad.
At the end of 12th grade, I
Yeah.
don't understand.
President Maris, if I may answer
Yes.
Trustee Warner's question. If anyone wishes to donate goods, household goods, books, toys, no clothing accepted, they can be dropped off on Friday, May 1st at the Woodlands Middle High School Teachers Lounge, which is around the back of the campus. Again, the collection period is Friday, May 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. The flea market itself is the following day, Saturday, May 2nd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Presser Park or Webfield on Central Avenue, benefiting the Woodlands High School Scholarship Fund.
Thank you, Trustee Valen.
And Mr. Cinco.
and Mr. Cinco. Okay. Next, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Report, Dr. Njoku.
My dad's here. Just in time.
Are you calling it a night, Mr. Cinco?
Yes.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Sorry,
Good
Dr.
evening.
Njoku, go ahead.
That's fine. The presentation served as my report.
Great. Then we're going to have the superintendent for, yes? Oh, superintendent for business.
I'd like to welcome Miss Ashley Amy Moore, our district treasurer, to give the treasurer's report for February.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The Treasurer's Report for February 2026 is as follows. The general fund beginning balance for February 2026 was $39,022,206.43. The district received a total of $18,996,507.46 in receipts. The district issued $3,526,887.09 in payroll checks and $2,531,407.69 in accounts payable disbursements, as well as $324,564.79 in due to, due from other funds. The ending balance for the general fund was $51,635,854.32. For the month of February, the district issued 940 payroll checks, 187 accounts payable disbursements. All of the disbursements were audited by our claims auditor. That ends my report. Any questions?
No, thank you, Ms. Ashley Moore. Are there any questions for anyone? No? Okay, nope. Thank you very much. That concludes
my presentation.
Okay, thank you.
My report.
Next, we have board discussion. Are there any discussion items that the Board of Ed members may have? We had some listed here, which was the question about some people, Dr. Chisholm, have been discussing iReady. And online, there's some information about an iReady lawsuit. It's something that we use here in the district, so I don't know if you want to talk about it, or you and Dr. Njoku.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to distribute some information, some verbiage from Curriculum Associates, who is the trademark person for iReady for both math and reading. So one of the things, it did come to our attention that there is a lawsuit. I do want to share that this lawsuit is stemming out of California, and right now it's very much in its incubate stages. So that's kind of like where it is at this point. From what we understand, it has to do with something around data privacy, those type of things. I don't know its impact on New York State because we do follow and comply with Ed Law 2D, which is around PII, which is personal identifiable information. Those things are cleared anytime that we work with a vendor, and that does also go through our Lyric, and Lyric also double checks that. So I'm not quite sure what statutes are in California. I'm speculating, but because it has to do with information for students, that's the only thing that I can think of. We have been in communication. I know Dr. Njoku has reached out to Lyric, has reached out to Curriculum Associates just to kind of see what does this mean, the so what, now what, and its impact on what we're doing here in our district. I can turn it over to Dr. Njoku, but that's the gist pretty much of what it is that I know and understand of this newly brought up lawsuit with Curriculum Associates.
Thank you. Dr. Njoku, I don't know if you want to share anything.
What Dr. Chisholm stated is sufficient because it's in the early stages. It's not speaking to the program or the diagnostic. It's speaking to the data privacy component. So it's not speaking to the iReady assessment or the pathways or the Ready text, et cetera. And as information comes about,
We are in constant communication with Lyric. We even received a recent email as early as today. So they are on top of it in terms of keeping us informed.
Okay, thank you. And there were some facility updates that, yes,
Sure,
Trustee
I had
Warner?
one question, and that is we have, we're trying to install the water at the water connection at the Pinewood Gate in addition to the one at the other end of Stone Oaks. We've given us an update that the legal is working out the easement for the Stone Oaks side. But at the Pinewood Gate side, we installed the wet tap, and we've got this ditch leading to, I guess, a couple of check valves, which now we have to apply again because of the water table so high. We have to put them above ground and install them in a box, and we have to apply for that. So how long will it take to get that done?
Had a meeting on Friday with BBS. They said that the permits had been submitted, and the turnaround time on those permits is about 4 weeks.
4 weeks, thanks.
Okay, are there any more questions? No, last topic that I know of, unless someone has another question, is some information around athletics, which Dr. Chisholm is going to discuss.
Thank you. So one of the things that our Lower Hudson Council of School Superintendents has been discussing is really around schools without boundaries and thinking about athletic play for public schools as part of NISFA versus play and athleticism and competing against the private schools and institutions. And one of the things that we've been having conversations about is really around the safety of that. And that's stemming from the fact that a lot of the private schools are able to recruit students from across the state as well as across borders. They're also able to incentivize by offering scholarships to recruit those students. And so when you're thinking about fairness and equity in the New York State Public School Athletic Association, we are a district that Section 1, is what I'll say, is a section that does currently play against the private schools. I come from Section 6, which is in Western New York, and we've never allowed private schools to play in our athletics. So I am with the Lower Hudson Council and thinking of other ways. It's not to take away play from privates because we want all students to play, but we're thinking about equity in athletics in a public school association. And so one of the things that they're asking for, or we're asking for collectively, is to hopefully have our boards look to adopt a resolution in support of this based on whether we are agreeing to support the Lower Hudson with either we're not in agreement with it, or we're kind of in agreement, but we want to research some more, or we're, bless you, or we're totally with doing this, kind of not separating, what it is kind of separating. So that was something I wanted to pose to the board to think about. And one of the other things that we've been talking about is around electric vehicles and utility use. And I know I shared some background information with that, but a lot of districts are not ready, right? They're not ready. There's not the mass production of electric buses being manufactured, and the utilities. And really some of the cost to do a utility study is a cost to the district, and that's a hardship for many other districts too. So, you know, we're also looking at possibly getting resolutions from our boards in regards to where we are with electric buses and implementation later on down the road and what that looks like. So those are two things I just wanted to pose and be transparent with the board.
Thank you, Dr. Chisholm. Trustee Valen?
Thank you for that. first a quick question. I know, no, first a comment. You're aware I'm part of the Westchester Putnam School Board Association, and you've been in meetings with me, and we've been advocating with our legislators and others on various issues, but including, right now I'm going to focus on the electric vehicle buses. So there's a long list of 10 plus reasons why we are interested in a delay. Not that we don't believe in the need to prepare for climate change, et cetera, but there's just a mountain of hurdles, including the lack of competition for the providers of buses and the way that that's driving up the prices out there, both on transportation contracts and the purchase of those buses. So I am in agreement with doing a resolution on both items. The fair play, fair competition on the athletics, I also believe in. You've shared some sample resolutions, but my question on both is, I know this is kind of wrapped up in the budget discussions at the state level. If we don't have a resolution until the May work session, is that too late?
I don't think that would be too late. I know some boards have already passed a resolution. I can't share those with you here in this space. I'm happy to share that as part of my Friday packet. But I don't think it's too late. This is just something I just want to make sure I put out there, and to make sure that we're all in support of this.
Yep. So I would be, one trustee would be in favor of having these resolutions on the next meeting. I'd like to take a look at them a little bit more in detail, because I know there's some options out there. But I do want to say, just for the public, that we've been working behind the scenes on these issues and advocating in different ways. So the resolution is just another step, but it doesn't mean we haven't been voicing our opinions on all of this. So.
Correct.
And if there's anything in there about charter schools, I'd be happy to throw that in the mix
I
as
think
well.
that'll be forthcoming. There is a lawsuit for that.
Trustee Warner?
I agree with Trustee Valen. I think that the entire project is a giant unfunded mandate, and there is aid out there, but there's not enough aid to handle all the school districts in the state of New York, and they're trying to get everybody in the state of New York to get this thing implemented. And so yes, the only way to do it is to extend the deadline significantly, and there's some technology that there may be problems that they haven't surmounted with in districts which are geographically larger than ours. So there are districts that can do it. There are districts that can't do it. You have to have a study, and you have to have an electrification study for each district, and you need to have enough tax revenue from the state to fund the electrification studies. So the ideal would be to let the thing out to a much longer time and pay for all the electrification studies, and then you can know whether or not you can do it and where.
Okay. Are there any trustees who want to voice an opposing opinion or feel as if they need to share anything specifically about the private schools playing in the public school consortium, or about the electric vehicles, electric school buses?
I would go to the athletic director and the team coaches and see, what they think the practical impact of the business of having a separate private.
Well, our athletic director is here.
That's correct.
Mr. McCoy, can you come tell us what was your question? Trustee Warner, your thoughts and perspective on the private school play in the public schools, NISBA? NISBA.
I think Dr. Chisholm hit it on the spot. Her and I have been working very closely since, I think, her first day here on this topic. I'm in my 9th year as an athletic director, and this is becoming a major topic each and every year. It is unfair to our student athletes when you have to compete against a school who is recruiting the best of the best. We have seen it as athletic directors worse in Albany, where there is a school called CBA, where there are teams that have to compete, and then they go to the state finals and they're playing 10, 15, 20 student athletes from other schools. So imagine it's like a draft, and it's happening. We've seen it here. We've lose student athletes here all the time. These schools say they don't recruit, they recruit. I've seen them at our games. I've seen them at the county center, coaches talking to our young athletes and giving them the opportunity to play at a better school, as they say. And I'll use a private story. I have 2 athletes in a public school who got recruited by a private school. And my older son came home and said, "Dad, why? Why would I go there when I could play for my community? I'm okay, I'm not great, but it's you're homegrown. You have that sense of community." We see that here. We're such a small district, and when we are winning or successful, it's a great opportunity. When these student athletes are going to these private schools and winning, there's no joy in it, I don't think, because they're not homegrown, they're not part of the community. And I think Dr. Chisholm has been amazing at this with me. We're on the same page. We have the same thoughts and ideas about it. When she said to me when she was in Section 6 they didn't allow it, I was like, wow, could you come to our next AED meeting and speak about it? Because that's what it is. And Section 1 is great because they are the advocators of this. To the other sections are kind of like, oh, we'll just let it go because nobody wants to deal with it. We are dealing with it in Section 1, and we are front forward on this.
Okay, thank you. And so I hear no other opposing views, so it sounds like the board is in full agreement with the positions that you presented. The athletic director's in full agreement as well. And we're going to keep going. Okay, is there any other discussion items? Hearing none. Let me see what's next on the agenda. Our regular meeting approvals. We have personnel instructional items. Can I get a motion, please?
Do you want to have a second closed session or not?
Yes, but it's not about any of the agenda items.
Okay. I move that we approve the instructional personnel items presented to the board for approval this evening.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Personnel non-instructional items. Can I get a motion?
I move that we approve the non-instructional personnel items presented to the board for approval this evening.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Do you know stuff? Next item on our agenda is the G3 board action items.
I move that we approve the board action items presented to the board for approval this evening.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Next, we have finance items.
I move that we approve the finance items presented to the board for approval this evening.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Number G5, business items.
I move that we approve the business items presented to the board for approval this evening.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Item G6, pupil personnel services items.
I move that we approve the pupil personnel services items presented to the board for approval this evening.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carried. We're going to go back. I don't know why this isn't on the agenda. Yeah, but. It should be here that's my fault for not seeing that. I'm sorry, we have a new hire here. And so our new hire is extremely committed to the district and sat through a meeting till 10:41 at night. Thank you, Mr. Garrity. Can you please come up to the stage? Now it gets to be all about you since you waited. Can you bring the mic with you, please? I am so sorry. Normally we have a section on the agenda that says to meet new hires. And we have, Yeah, we need to start doing it the day of, because that's, yeah, we'll fight about it later. But please come in. We've approved you. You are hired.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming. Please tell us who you are. And a little bit about you with your green tie. I love it. It's Woodlands colors.
Thank you very much.
Yes, great.
Felt it appropriate for tonight. For those of you who don't know me, thank you very much. My name is Matt Garrity. I am the new varsity football coach for the Greenberg Central School District.
Thank you. And even though your season starts in the fall, it seems like you are very eager and supportive of the district, and you came early, and you came out and you met us, right? And
Yes, ma'am.
yes, let people meet you. Does anyone want to ask Mr. Garrity anything? I don't know, Mr. McCoy, you want to say anything about Mr. Garrity? But he will start with our team, I guess in preseason is August, right? And hopefully get us on a winning
Preseason starts now.
Oh, preseason. Get us on a winning track with a new field, with a new turf field.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Mr. McCoy's coming up to say some nice words.
So when we hire a coach, it's getting very difficult to find coaches. Coaches don't want to coach anymore for many of reasons. When we opened up the search this year, we started with a screening where I screened about 15 applicants, and then we brought 7 or so back to a committee, and then we had the 2 of them meet Dr. Chisholm, and then the board. Matt was number 1 right after the screening. Just his enthusiasm and his will to bring what I look at, and I know the district looks at as a coach. When we met with Dr. Chisholm, Mr. Hanratty, I could tell the vibe that was going on and of how much he and us wanted him here. The day after he met with the board, I texted him, I'm like, how'd it go? And he's like, awesome. I'm like, wow, okay, this is great. And then him and I met for 3 hours last Friday during the day. And he told me his vision, and I was like, this is what I've been looking for. And not just in the football program, but our whole athletic program. And I'm hoping that his energy and his vibe will just go to other coaches and other people in the district, because what his plan is here, for number 1, when he said to me, how do I get student athletes out? That was, to me, a winner, because we're building something here, and it's not just athletically, but it's also academically, because where are these student athletes going afterwards? And with his college experience, not just him playing in college, but also him coaching in college, and his connections with college coaches is going to be amazing. Today he was nice enough to, on his ride home from the Bronx, his hour ride home, he sat in a meeting with me with our huddle representative, thank you, a representative, and he was asking the questions before I was, which was great. So I welcome him. We're so excited for him to start tomorrow, meeting our students. We already have a parent meeting planned in 2 weeks, so we're ready to go.
Thank you for the kind words, Mr. McCoy.
So one of the things that I've asked, I'm sure Mr. McCoy is very well aware of, all teams I ask about, as he just mentioned, a parent meeting. I think it's super important for coaches to have some time to meet with parents, even if it's virtual, give them an opportunity to meet the coaches and speak with them and ask any questions they may have. I also look at 2 other things. A, fundraisers for the team, so I don't know if you have some ideas for that. And I always like and always push for service learning and teams giving back and doing some level of public service, some sort of, there's lots of things in the community. There's community members here. This is a budget meeting. We're talking about the money that we utilize from our tax dollars, but actually getting our kids into the community to do public service projects makes me happy. So I would love if every team did a parent meeting, a public service project, as well as some fundraising. what do you think about those ideas? Do you have any ideas for those type of things?
I think you bring up a couple of really good points, right? When it comes to fundraising, we want to be able to bring the community in as much as possible. When you tie community in with football, that's one of the reasons why football is such a focal point in so many communities, is because it brings everybody together, right? And it's not just those Friday nights. It's not just those 7-on-7 tournaments during the springtime or during the summertime. It's the entire year. So the more that you get the community to buy into what it is we're doing, the more it is this program is going to thrive. And you're going to start to see numbers and student athletes rise because they want to be a part of something that's successful, right? And I've told you guys when I first interviewed with you, right? I rate success in a multitude of ways. It's not just wins on the football field. It's not just how many kids we can get into playing at the next level, right? There's so many different ways that we measure success as coaches, as teachers, as students of the game, right? I consider myself to be a lifelong learner in the fact that I will never always have the right answer, but I will do my due diligence in finding out the research in, hey, what is the right way to go about a situation, or what is the right call to make during a game, right? So it's very important for me to be able to do the research behind the scenes to then have an answer for you. It's the same way for our student athletes and why we want them to be able to explain to us why it is they're doing something. The more that we can get them to think like us, the faster the game is going to pick up for them, the faster you'll see how successful we can be on the field and in the classroom. When it also comes to your second point, your service project, one of the service projects that I'm gonna propose to the team is that we're gonna give back to the teachers of their past. And what I want to do is I want to be able to allow the students to go and pick their favorite person, educator in their life, and bring them to a football game and have them recognized. Because that's going to tie all of the buildings within the district together, right? Their favorite teacher may be their second grade teacher way back in the elementary school, right? Well, guess what? You're going to go to that teacher's classroom as a senior in high school and surprise them with your jersey and ask them to wear it the night of the football game. And wouldn't that be something special for that teacher who hasn't seen them in 10 years to be like, wait, you play football? Well, let's tie the entire school district into something like that.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for waiting. I'm sorry that we took so long.
Oh,
You
no
learned
worries.
all about
Yes.
the budget. You learned
Lots
all
of
about
money
the
talk.
district. Thank you so much, Mr. Garrity.
No worries. Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity to coach here at Woodlands. I'm very excited. My wife is very excited. So we are ready to roll.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, it has been proposed for us to have a second exec session, and I'm going to request that it's not long. Is there a motion?
I move that we adjourn to executive session to discuss the employment history of particular persons, personnel matters, and employee records, and matters deemed confidential by state or federal law, including seeking advice from counsel.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. It's 10:50. We're now in executive session. Thank you. Okay. It's 11:37. Mr. Parker, is he still here too?
Where is the superintendent?
Oh, she left.
Oh,
They all
okay.
left, yeah.
Huh? Everybody left, David. It's just us. We're good. Okay. Good evening. It's 11:38, 7. And we just returned from the executive session. Next item on the agenda is any new business. Is there any new business? Hearing none, can I get a motion for adjournment?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. We're adjourned 11:38 p.m. Thank you. I don't know why I
11:38.